Hello, it's Merryl and it's my mystery school, and I wanted to use the astrology dice today to have a look at Jin from BTS. Simple question: will he be in military service by the end of the year? For those who don't know, BTS is a bombshell boy band from Korea. Millions and millions of ardent fans, and in my opinion, completely deserving of their success. Incredibly hardworking, talented, humble. They've earned millions for South Korea. They've spoken at the UN, and they've really boosted Korea's cultural influence over the whole world. The other thing about Korea is that every male is required to do military service by the time they're 28. And in recognition for what BTS has brought to Korea, a special law was made pushing back that age of 28 to 30 for BTS. The thing is, Jin was born on the 4th of December 1992, and as the oldest member, he'll be 30 by the end of the year. Will Jin be in military service in Korea by the end of 2022? So we've got 10th house, that's the house of Korea. Uranus in the 10th house, and Uranus in Capricorn. So what we can see from this straight away, 10th house is your position out in the world, your public face, your career, your service, and how you're seen by the world. And Capricorn is the natural placement for the 10th house. So we've got two of the dice here linking up. If this was tarot, this would be like you're getting the major cards rather than the minor arcana. The planet here is Uranus. And Uranus is the one that completely disrupts whatever it touches. And at the moment, Uranus is affecting Jin's career. And in Capricorn, the structures and government support to maintain that career in that position. On first viewing, I've got to say, Uranus here is like exploding, a major interruption in Jin's career. And in Capricorn, this could easily be military service. So on first reading, it looks like he will be in military service by the end of the year. But I want to do a clarifier. At the beginning of July, the government sort of made a little opening that because of BTS service to Korea, they could be exempt from military service. But we can see from this dice, that's quite revolutionary. It's quite out of the norm, and it has a kind of a splitting effect about his duties and obligations. So I want to know if Uranus here is an upturn of that law, allowing an exemption for Jin and all the rest of BTS. If we have a quick look at his chart, bearing in mind we don't know what time he's born, so this is set for 12 midnight. You see he was born with Uranus in Capricorn, and it's right there with Neptune, Pallas, and Venus just a little off to the side, opposite Mars. On a first-hand glance, Uranus conjunct Neptune in Cap looks like there's a sacrifice that has to be made that disrupts his work or his position. Uranus is also square Jupiter, and Jupiter's trine Saturn. So I can see the conflict there about the duty one has to do, the kind of luck that you have with it, and the support coming through Saturn, though ultimately it's part of Jin's blueprint to deal with this issue of military service affecting his career. So this question is, will the government move to exempt Jin and BTS by the end of 2022? Seventh house, the South Node, and Capricorn once again. Seventh house is the house of relationships and partnerships. It's also the house of open enemies. With the South Node, we're looking at tradition, And the tradition falls in Capricorn, the service that you've already done, how it's always been done. I would think from this that any exemption that came through the government would have to have popular support. And there may be, because this is open enemies as well as relationships, it could be that there's it's just not acceptable in Korean society to do this at this time. We also have to look that the South Node is the energy that pulls you backwards. It makes things smaller and lessens things. So on one reading, it's like this opportunity for the government to step in is lessened. It's decreased. It's watered down and diluted. And we've got Capricorn coming up in both readings. And that's pretty much obeying the status quo. So I'm not sure that the government can apply an exemption unless it's really hugely popular. It's hard to give a definitive on this because there's so much changing. But with Uranus in the 10th house there, Jin is definitely up for a big split or shake-up or an upheaval in his career by the end of the year. I'm Merryl, and this is my mystery school. Like, follow, share and subscribe. If you'd like to see more, check out the rest of my channel or contact me on my website www.merrylkey.com. Blessed be.